It's me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Atypical Life, and I've been gone for a little while. Have I missed anything in the Doctor Who community? Oh. So for those who haven't seen and have maybe been living under a rock for the last year, Doctor Who has gone through some significant changes in that past 365 days. Now, obviously, a little while ago I made a video about RTD coming back. I made a video about Ncuti Gatwa being cast. I even asked Peter Davison and Paul McGann about what they thought about the casting. Was one of the first to do it. That was all wonderful. Now, in that time, we have had 3 episodes, and in my opinion, they have all been fantastic, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before I go into the main bulk of this video, I would like to give a quick review to Power of the Doctor, just because I don't have enough thoughts about it to really give it a full video. I was very happy to see the classic companions come back. Sophie Aldred had been on this channel a few times, gave a great performance. So did Janet Fielding, and so did Peter Davison and Sylvester McCoy. Honestly, I thought all of that stuff was brilliant. But it came in contact too much with a story that didn't know what it wanted. Which, again, towards the end of Chibnall's era, we got this a lot. There was an awful lot going on, and I don't think anything truly got resolved in the end. The Master's plan, the Doctor and Yaz having their last few moments together, all of it kind of became a mismatch, and it didn't work, in my opinion. And to me, it was quite a weak send-off for someone who, quite frankly, deserved better. There's my thoughts on it. In addition, before we go any further, please watch the BBC Two recolorization of Doctor Who and the Daleks, which is now apparently the first ever episode of Doctor Who, isn't it? This was given so much care, so much thought, and it actively improves a story that was already brilliant. I would not recommend it highly enough. It is, frankly, my favourite part of this 60th anniversary. It's the bit that caught my eyes the most, and it made me the most excited. And there'll be an entire video dedicated to that at some point. Now for the main meat and potatoes of the matter. David Tennant came back, folks. He has come to save the show again in the eyes of a lot of people with The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Giggle. Now, all of these stories had a lot to love about them, but let's look at them individually, shall we? Now, we're going to start off with The Star Beast, and this was the best episode of Doctor Who we've had in years. I honestly mean that. This had everything you'd want. There was stakes established. There was a great performance from the Doctor. There was a monster, and dare I say monsters, that were really well done. It was homage to the classics and homage to the expanded universe, which, as you know on this channel, I absolutely adore. It was everything you'd want and more. And the writing, I know a lot of people sort of use Chibnall as an easy target, but I think genuinely here what we saw was a utter step up in class in terms of writing for character, writing for believable, realistic characters. Donna, Rose, Sylvia, all of them had their moments to shine, and was such a great depiction of their real lives in this, which I don't think we've really had a lot of, even in the Moffat era, if I were to be honest. I think this is the most realistic depiction since Russell T Davies left. For me, this episode had quite a bit of bottle. Now, what I mean is a lot of times in shows when we have marginalized groups or underrepresented people represented in media, we try and give something really idolized, that their life is perfect, this type of thing. And to have Rose, who was played wonderfully by Yasmin Finney, go through struggles throughout the episode and have people being horrible to her, for example, it really gave her a depth of character that I feel a lot of characters that are written with this in mind aren't given. It was really, really great performance and made me root for the character even more. So even the moments where Sylvia is asking Donna, how do I say this about her and how do I approach this? That was a very realistic response, just going off the experiences of trans friends I've got in my life. And again, deeply appreciated the actual genuine sensitivity given in this story. And of course, we got to talk about David Tennant himself, both in this story and all the others. This will be overarching. He's playing such a good version of himself, where, in my humble opinion, if you look at series four, for example, I think he became a caricature of his Doctor. Here, he is playing it so well, the 900,000 years on his face throughout. And that was something that I always appreciated about his portrayal. And it was given the balance that I think sometimes was missing from his own era. It was really, really good. And Donna's always amazing. There was definitely a more serious air to her this time. And yeah, 10 years of being away from the Doctor will do that. It was really well handled. These characters being updated were great. Except one thing. I personally do not like the Meta Crisis. I never liked it at the time. I never liked Donna's memories being wiped. I'm really not a fan of Journey's End, believe it or not. And I think the way they got around it in this story was really dumb. I think that it sort of brought the story down a bit towards the end after what had been an absolutely incredible piece before that. And to me, there's just so much more that could have been done, so much better that could have been done. That's the only low point in this story for me. Now let's get back to some positives. Miriam Margolyes as the Meep was absolutely incredible. She was hilarious and portrayed it exactly as we'd seen in the audios and comic books. So absolutely no notes from me. The turn to evil Meep was quite fun, and her dialogue was just incredible. I just feel maybe the Meep got defeated a little too easily. Ultimately, this episode was Doctor Who condensed. This was a brilliant bridge to bring maybe some Lapsed fans back in, giving some explanation to what's happened over the last few seasons, and it gave fans who had stuck around a reason to keep going with it. And to me, it's achieved everything it needed to. It was brilliant. Now, while Blue Yonder was weird, in every sense of the word, it felt like a Doctor-like episode with the Doctor in it. It felt very 42, that sort of episode, where one location, companion Doctor, maybe a couple of actors here and there. But we didn't even have that, really. We just had David and Catherine showing us why they're two of the best to ever do it. And I'm not going to complain about it. We've really got some deep, heartfelt character moments from the Doctor and Donna finding out what had happened over the last 12 or so years. And I lapped all of this up. This was a brilliant performance from both. And you know what? The set actually looked really good. The effects were really, really decent. That Disney budget is going right into this show, and it's incredible. Now, of the three episodes, I would call it the weakest. It has the least going on, but I do feel like it's a bit of a palate cleanser. The only complaint maybe I have is it just feels like a mid-season romp. I don't know why it's in the middle of a series of anniversary specials. I'm sure some people will say not every episode has to be grand, and I know, but during the anniversary, should they not be? Should they not be important? Maybe I don't know. Have a word amongst yourselves in the comments. And now on to the giggle. This is the episode I have the most to say regarding. This was utterly incredible. I loved everything about it. We had a villain who truly gave us stakes. We had Unit back. We had everything we could want and more. And we had the end of seeing Wolf's character, which is a bit sad. Didn't really mention it a lot in the last section, but seeing Bernard Cribbins back for that final time was really heartwarming, and it's a shame they couldn't get his final scenes filmed. But we got a send off, and we know he's safe, which is fantastic. 3 words: Neil Patrick Harris. What a performance as the Toymaker. I saw genuine menace behind even the funny lines, and it genuinely felt like he could destroy everything at a moment's notice if he wanted to. But his motivation was brilliant. The way everyone reacted to him really sold him as well. And he was presented as this genuine threat that he should have always been. In that initial story, he is there to destroy the fabric of reality pretty much for the sake of a game. And yeah, no notes on him. He was brilliant. I really like the sequence of the Toymaker having his puppet show, and whilst it's quite humorous, it does show what terrible things the Doctor has allowed to happen over the last sort of 15 years. And it really hits home, just how easily the Doctor sort of brushes it off sometimes, the guilt that's in him. And I was a huge proponent of that scene. It was really, really fun. And any musical numbers are always welcome. Very John Sims master-esque. Now, the only thing I would say on that is that he was too easily defeated. He went from being very much the most scary thing in the universe to being beaten in about 3 minutes. So, Journey's End syndrome, anyone? It really didn't sit well with me, but you've got to introduce it in some way. And then we got the moment that maybe is going to be the most divisive: Bi-Generation. Now, it's going to take some getting used to. Personally, when I saw the episode, I outwardly said this doesn't happen. This is bullshit. But what can I say? The performance of Ncuti Gatwa charmed the pants off me. It was fantastic. I still feel that the concept of Bi-Generation is a bit silly, and from a writing standpoint, it absolutely was to say, look, this Doctor is endorsing another one. It's not something I would have personally done, and it's not something that I will look back on fondly, I don't think. But Ncuti Gatwa did steal his scenes when he was in them. And when you're standing next to David Tennant, that is an amazing compliment, an amazing feat. Oh, but also that TARDIS, that screwdriver are all brilliant as well. I think it's nice to have a spacious, classic-esque TARDIS, like the one we've got behind me. It's really nice for them to have the accessibility comment in there. I know a lot of my friends personally are really pleased with that, and it just means that the show is for everybody, and we keep that up. There was so much in this finale to enjoy. I'm really happy that UNIT are re-established. I'm really happy that we got Mel back. I have had 3 80s companions in the space of 4 episodes. I'm so happy as one of the only 80s Who fans out there. But she wasn't just back for the sake of it. She was quite good. I feel like the character development there was nice. The performance of Bonnie Langford was also really nice. I think she got to show more than she usually was afforded in her era, so that's always nice to see. And Gemma Redgrave can come back whenever she wants. She is brilliant as Kate Stewart. Sorry, she's amazing. The only thing, again, for me, and it is a byproduct of the Bi-Generation, is this overly happy ending for ostensibly the 10th Doctor. We have seen twice in Doctor Who now a David Tennant clone go off and get a happy ending, and it not have any impact on the show whatsoever. Yeah, we're told a lot in Doctor Who that if there's two of the same person in the same time, it will cause fractions. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we're just expected that that's fine. Um, Doctor Who has had some ridiculous sort of explanations, sort of law-breaking things in the past, but for me, this is one of the worst. And um, I love David Tennant. I think he was my Doctor growing up, but to me, that is completely ridiculous. And I'm so sorry to end this review on a sour note, but that last sort of 10 minutes left a really bad taste in my mouth and really soured what was a great celebration of 60 years of Doctor Who. Now, overall, I would say I'm more happy with this than I am with Dave the Doctor. I'm happy with the 60th celebration more so than I am with the 50th. It feels like Doctor Who has come back to prominence. It feels like the fans are back to feeling a bit more positive about the show, except the odd few. Um, but we are in a better place than we were 12 months ago, 18 months ago in terms of the show. Now, please do stay tuned on the channel as I'm also going to be reviewing The Church on Ruby Road, and maybe this will be the start of some regular uploads again, maybe not. As you can see, I've been gone for a little while, but I've got things to talk about now, so very happy to be back and very happy to continue this Doctor Who content. Have a lovely day, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye.